Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tech Rundown podcast. I'm your host, Anna-Lysa Gale. Definitely a happy Juneteenth to everyone out there celebrating on this beautiful Friday. Also, I really want to pause to recognize the New York Knicks because wow, what a season. Congratulations to the Knicks. And for those of you who do not know, I spent some time in New York between middle school and high school, part of high school in Mount Vernon, New York, the Bronx, Westchester, New York. Shout out to you all. Big up to yourself. Definitely had a ball there. So, yeah, when the Knicks won, definitely was feeling that New York energy for sure. And that is a beautiful energy. All right, let's get to today's headlines. It's been a week since SpaceX debuted as the biggest initial public offering ever. And since then, the company has announced that they will acquire AI coding startup Cursor for $60 billion. The merger is expected to close in the third quarter of the year, according to CNBC. Definitely big news for SpaceX there this week, and exciting news for them for sure as they continue to grow. Lots of people still watching to see how SpaceX will do in the stock market. Definitely was going up a little, down a little this week, as always, but definitely stay tuned to see what else SpaceX does next. Also, watching to see what happens next for Anthropic. We know it's been about a week now since Mythos 5 and Fable 5 were suspended, and they were both built to handle complex coding and deep reasoning. In a statement, the company says the U.S. government, citing national security authorities, issued an export control directive to suspend all access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 by any foreign national, whether inside or outside the United States, including foreign national Anthropic employees. The net effect, they say, of that order is that they had to abruptly disable Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for all their customers to ensure compliance. The company said in a statement on Friday, June 12th, they were talking about all of this. So, waiting to see how this will be resolved, if it will be resolved, if Fable 5, Mythos 5 will once again be available to the public anytime soon. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, Apple plans on raising the prices of some of their products soon. Surprising news, in my opinion, because they just unveiled their MacBook Neo, which is about $600, which some were saying is the affordable MacBook that they will be offering. Tim Cook said in an exclusive interview with the Wall Street Journal that unfortunately price increases are unavoidable. And he says they are doing their best to mitigate the huge increases that are being passed on to them, and they've been trying to shield customers from increases, but the situation has now become unsustainable. Also, let's get to a Pew Research survey, love survey. So, we got to take a look at what is coming out of this latest survey on artificial intelligence and how it's impacting Americans. Now, according to the Pew Research Center, about half of U.S. adults now report using AI chatbots, up substantially from the summer of 2024. And about a third of Americans say they have a smart speaker, and smaller shares have a doorbell or thermostat with AI features. More adults also predict that AI will have a negative rather than positive impact on them and on society. And majorities think AI is advancing too quickly and will put their personal information at risk. About 4 in 10 US adults say they use chatbots for information searching. 38% of employed adults report using chatbots for tasks at work. Also, Americans report using ChatGPT far more than any other chatbots. So, if you were wondering how much people use ChatGPT versus other chatbots, yeah, I can see that. There are lots of chatbots out there, but I believe that OpenAI has really created a space for themselves and a market for themselves when it comes to the ease of using their chatbots. Even when I created the AI agent, which I talked about in my last newsletter, which you can find at Substack, annalysagale.substack.com, I pretty much used ChatGPT. I did have to pay a premium price for it, but that is one of the easiest ways to create an AI agent right now. Also, want to tell you about something coming up that if you are a creator, you like creating videos, and the creator economy is a huge part of the world right now in terms of advertising and how marketers use it. I want to tell you about an opportunity coming up. You can apply to participate in the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope launch. The deadline to apply is June 28th. The mission is scheduled to launch on August 30th aboard a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. And the NASA social event is going to be taking place over 2 days, including the day of launch. A maximum of 50 digital creators will be selected to attend the 2-day event, and you will be provided access similar to what news reporters and other news correspondents are usually provided with. So this sounds like a great opportunity if you're majoring in communications, journalism at a university in the area or any university across the country. This could be a good way to get some practice and see what life is like as a professional journalist. And of course, we got to talk a little bit about Snap Specs. It's promising to be better than the current smart Ray-Ban Meta glasses and things like that, where people have been using it to shoot content and things like that. But this one, they say, will have a longer battery life and you won't have to use your phone. So I'm not sure what you think about it, but the price tag on the Snap Specs is about 2,190 in the fall. So this could be interesting. $2,195. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. For now, you can check out a recap of all these headlines right now on my Substack. You can head to AnnaLysaGale.substack.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Tech Rundown podcast. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can keep up with the latest videos. Even hit the alert button so that you find out as soon as I drop a new video. All right, folks, have a great one. See you next time.